All right, and then the last thing to do for today is crown our NFL winner, folks. NFL winner, we've been walking through the series, the season, picking the winner of every single game of every single week, and we have finally gotten to the playoffs. So let's recap it one more time. Atop of the AFC North is the Steelers at 12-5. Browns are the second at 11-6. Ravens finished 10-7. Bengals finished 3-14. The AFC South, Colts the top at 17-0. Titans number 2 at 8-9. Jaguars 2-15, and the Texans 1-16. The Bills for the AFC East, top of the AFC East at 14-3. The Dolphins are also 14-3. The Patriots are 6-11. The Jets are 3-14. The AFC West, the Chiefs at 16-1. The Broncos at 12-5. The Chargers at 7-10, and the Raiders at 4-13. The NFC North, Packers 11-16, Bears 8-9, Vikings 4-12, Lions 0-17. Womp womp. The NFC South, Bucks the top of that, the 12-5 record. Falcons second at 11-16, the Saints at 5-12, and the Panthers at 2-15. The NFC East, Giants at the top of that, 11-6. Washington 10-7, Eagles 7-10, and the Cowboys 4-12. In the NFC West, Rams at 14-3, Cardinals at 12-5, Seahawks at 11-16, and the 49ers at 9-8. And that gives us our playoffs, folks. So here we go, wild card round, Colts and Rams, both the top of the AFC and the NFC, so they get that one team bye, 1 week bye, so well done for those two teams. But now the winners here, so let's start in the AFC. We got the matchup of the Dolphins at Steelers, Broncos at Bills, and the Browns at Chiefs. So let's pick the winners here. First game up, Dolphins and Steelers, and this is going to be a wild game. Two good defenses, great defenses, I should say. Two quarterbacks, one at the end of his career, one at the beginning, one running back, rookie Najee Harris, kind of a question mark for the Dolphins. Don't have any really thing solid out there. And unfortunately, I think I'm going to give it to the Why do the Steelers have to be at home? But the way that they floundered last year at home in the playoffs, they were at home, right, for that Browns game? I think they were. I'm going to kind of go with the Dolphins here. I think history is going to repeat itself with the Steelers team. Big Ben aging as the season goes, and he kind of, ends his career on a little bit of a pop gun bang, a little kind of underwhelming bang out there. So I'm going to take the Dolphins on the road. The defense is able to get it done. Tua's looking solid, and he's able to kind of just be game manager for this game. Alrighty, then we get the Broncos at the Bills. I'm going to give it to the Bills here. Their defense carries it over at home for them. The Broncos, their defense is solid, but I think the offense, when you're comparing the Broncos offense to the Bills offense was absolutely on point all year. The only thing that is giving me kind of maybe a little bit of a red flag here on this Bills team is Sean McDermott does not coach well in the playoffs, folks. It is night and day. His playoff performances in his regular season, he seems kind of uptight. He doesn't really feel loose offensively. Very conservative offensive play calls, and they don't have that explosive put up 35, 40 points in the playoffs. So I think he does kind of flounder in the playoffs a little bit, the head coach here, but they'll beat the Broncos at home game 1. Then the Chiefs and the Browns were real close last season, but at the end of the day, it's Patty Mahomes, baby. You can't knock that. So I'm going to take the Chiefs over the Browns. I think the Browns have a decent shot at upsetting the Chiefs, but it's Andy Reid at home off of that huge Super Bowl loss, and their line got right, so he's not going to be running all over the field, Patrick Mahomes. So I'm going to take the Chiefs at home. Then we get the Cardinals at Packers, and I'm going to take the Cardinals. I think the Packers lose first round. This Cardinals defense, I think, gets after Aaron Rodgers, and he flounders at home here. And then next year, we're talking about the same thing we always talk about. Aaron Rodgers wants out, blah, blah, blah. So we'll be talking about the same thing next year. Seahawks at the Giants. Giants at home. Unfortunately, they take the step from last season to this season. I don't think they take that leap to just kind of start winning playoff games. So I'm going to take the Seahawks on the road to win. And then the Falcons at the Bucks should be a good one as well, but I got to go with the Bucks repeating here. Bucks defense is still solid, and it's still Tom Brady, can't bet against it. Alrighty, so let's go to the next round of the playoffs, the divisional round. In the NFC, we got the Bills at Chiefs, in the Dolphins at the Colts, and in the NFC, we got the Cardinals at Bucks, and the Seahawks at Rams. So, Bills at Chiefs, we saw this play out, and once again, I can't really see it changing here from last season to this season. I don't think the Bills have improved that much from last year to this year, and I think the Chiefs have. Now, the Bills did get some pass rushers, so that's definitely going to help the Bills beat the Chiefs, but the Chiefs also beefed up their offensive line, so maybe it's a mute point. They cancel each other out. And I'm going to go with the Chiefs at home. And then the Dolphins at the Colts. And I love the Dolphins, but gosh darn, I can't. I love this Colts team. Going to give it to the Colts there. And then the Cardinals at Bucks. I'm going to call the Bucks win this one. The defense, Kyler Murray takes that step to win that first playoff game. Can't really take another one to win the second one. The Bucks win it. And then the Seahawks at Rams, and I'm going to take the Rams here. Sean McVay's believing in Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford's never had a good team around him. Let's see what he can do year one. I'm going to take the Rams at home. So now we're at the championship games. Chiefs at Colts, Bucks at Rams, and this is where it changes from last season. I'm going to take the Colts at home over the Chiefs. Y'all know how I feel about this Colts team. And I'm going to take this Rams team over the Bucks. Matt Stafford doesn't throw 3 interceptions in the playoffs in the championship game, so Tom Brady can't get bailed out at all. And so I'm going to take the Rams here. The defense at home for this Rams team is able to carry it over this Bucks team, and it's going to be the Colts and the Rams in the Super Bowl, and I think it's going to be a real great one. And actually, the Rams are at home because the Super Bowl is in SoFi Stadium. Let me double check that. 2022 Super Bowl location. I believe it is in SoFi Stadium. SoFi Stadium, bingo bango. So Rams are actually going to be at home, and if it follows like what it happened last year, the Bucs at home for the Super Bowl, they could win it, but I'm going to give it to the Colts. I truly think this is the Colts' year, folks, that they are truly just a plug-and-play quarterback away. The Rams are thinking the same thing, but I think the Colts with Carson Wentz is going to step up to the occasion over Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford has really never been this far in the playoffs. Maybe he flounders his first time in the Super Bowl, and I know Carson Wentz hasn't been here either, but he's got into his team to the playoffs. He played a couple of snaps in that first playoff game, but I love what this Colts team has done this season, and I'm going to give it to the Colts to win the Super Bowl. Colts over Rams. It's going to be a great one either way, and I would kind of feel all right with both of these teams winning. If the Rams won, I would be glad because Matt Stafford finally has a ring, so I'd have no qualms about that. But a little bit of a different Super Bowl from last year, but still two good, great teams. Rams, Colts, and our Colts are the Super Bowl champions as of May 27th. All right.